Sure.
So that was my
All right. You go ahead up here, and then we can go ahead and get started. Okay, I'll run through attendance. Erickson is present. Provost Mills. Strauss. Speaker. Lee Smith. Haley Rosman. Kate Robertson. Nicholas Clark. All right. Okay, so just to reiterate what your guys' responsibility is for this meeting, essentially, you all heard the conversations that we had last week about architecture, planning and design and their proposed increase. And so now is your opportunity for further discussion if you have any, or if not, we can go ahead and move into a recommendation. You can either approve, deny, or there is the opportunity to adjust the increase, but that would be a further conversation if somebody was interested in that. So I will let you guys take the reins. Are you wanting to have further discussion? You have further?
I don't have any comments, but if other people do.
I would like to have a little bit of further discussion.
Sure.
I know that last time we brought up a few different concerns like across the panel about things that maybe had or hadn't been looked into yet. Some of those being impact or interactions with first year students, impacts of removing the iPad program, discussions about if there have been any talks with the donors or funding sponsors for K-State, discussions about potential scholarships. I know it's only been a week and that's a very short timeline to have looked into any of the concerns brought forward by the committee. Did you guys have the time at all to look into any of the concerns that were brought forward in the last week?
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to?
No, that's the only question I had.
Okay. Great. Is there any other discussion? Are there any final comments that you guys would like to make on behalf of the college or anything?
No, I reiterate our case that I think that we have a very high quality education. I think that we take affordability very seriously. That's why we did all the research on comparables and the transparency in how we spend the money. And I think that this money, I believe, is spent very prudently towards resources to support the student body. So that, and we're really making up for inflation. That's what the increase is all about. That's bullet points of the major case.
Perfect. All right. Any final thoughts from anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, great. I'm looking for a formal motion on the recommendation for the fee increase. Ideally, something along the lines of I move to approve, deny, or change the increase. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to say it in the full language?
Sure.
All right. I, Nicholas Clark, on the committee, formally make the motion to approve the fee increase.
I will.
Okay. You want that to be unanimously, or do you want to vote?
So do we say?
Wait, I'm sorry. Say unanimously.
Sure. Do you want me to reiterate that I make the motion to unanimously approve the recommended fee increase?
All right, meeting adjourned. So now we will have our college or our tuition and fee strategy committee. You guys actually want to switch spots with them so that you can. We have this all recorded on Zoom. We have to post something. So I just want to make sure the right people are on. Thank you all for your work. You are right there. Oh.
I don't know.
You guys can just, we just have to. Again. Yeah.
You still made it.
What's my second sheet? I'll take minutes here first. One Scarborough. Pressure crosser here. Max Black. Springer. Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. So essentially, do you all understand what your role is in this process right now? Or if you'd like, I can re-explain what TFSC is. Okay, so for the past couple of weeks, the College Fee Committee has met to review a fee increase from the College of Agriculture and also the College of Architecture, Planning and Design. The College of Architecture College Fee Committee, they moved to approve the fee increase as well as you just saw, the increase for the College of Architecture, Planning and Design. And so your final say in the process is to approve or deny both of those fee increases and to ask any questions about if you have any clarification on whether or not the processes were followed correctly, or if you have further clarification for myself or any of the deans. So does that make sense?
Were we supposed to be here for any of those meetings? So how am I supposed to feel about how any of that went down?
This guy right here.
Why am I supposed to be there? I'm confused.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit about how architecture went. So like the dean just said, like a lot of it was about like adjusting for inflation and then kind of reiterating what we spend the money on. It was considered a tech fee, but that does not affect all the different majors from the College of Architecture Planning Design equally. For example, like I'm a regional community planner, so we don't have like actual studio spaces, or like we don't use laser cutters or like a lot of printers. So all the money that we go into those things does directly affect us. So in our minds, like seeking to raise fees to fund that didn't seem fair to us. And also there's a whole situation with the iPad program, because traditionally first year students would always be provided an iPad. So that way, like all professors know like what level of technology all the first year students have. But we're taking away that program to lower the amount that the fee is increasing. So then questions about like what effect that would have on first year students, because a lot of first year students rely on the iPad for like their technology for all of like design stuff, not like first year, like in the future in other classes as well. So talking about the implications of that and how we can still provide the equitable access for all students coming their first year and beyond, while also like taking away the iPad and not raising the fee, if that makes any sense.
And is there a plan, or at least like a formation of a plan to try and help those students when we're taking away a resource? Or is it just like, we gotta do what we gotta do, taking that away so our fee isn't too high? Is there any kind of plan at all to try and help those first groups?
There were some discussions, but I think during our last conversation, we brought up a lot of things that we thought were worth looking into to help continue to provide that resource for first year students. So like there's definitely like ongoing conversations to be had. But as far as like the increase in this present moment, it's just approved.
I guess, is there anything like, out of my own curiosity, is there anything like different technology wise that the students require other than just like general stuff that can't be done at like Hale?
Oh boy, it's hard to know.
First year students bill for everybody else. Yes.
Okay.
Years 2 through 5. That's already something that we already know coming into it. You're
Okay.
able to purchase a computer second year. The point is that you put on that purchase because we have a high level of stuff that we need on our computers. So buying like a MacBook is not a great move usually. And we don't want students to spend $1,000 on something like that, when they're gonna have to spend 3,000 on their computer in like a year. There is, Hale Library has a program where you can rent out a laptop. Apparently, I was not aware of this. This is a recent thing. So that is something that, like, if first year students need to rent computers, like, that's a possibility. We also have a computer lab in the building. There's only like 20 seats in there, but it does exist.
So in theory, you have all the tech that you would need.
Technically.
Okay.
You might not have it in your class. Like, you couldn't bring your laptop to class, but a lot of students already don't because they have desktop computers that stay in studios in their second through fifth year. Hence the need for an iPad or something like that to maybe if you wanted to take digital notes. If you take handwritten notes, it's not really a problem.
Gotcha. What is I guess my last question is, what's the current fee and what's it raising to and what percent is that?
The current one is 55 per credit hour, and there was a proposal to 75, and then that got brought down to 66 per credit hour.
With the removal of the iPad program to make up for the difference.
It's like a 15-ish%.
Yeah. The previous increases in 2000 fee, it was $14 per credit hour. In 2008, that got raised to $19. In 2013, it got raised to $35. In 2015, it got raised to $40. In 2018, that got raised to $55. Now it's been about 11-ish years, and there's not 11-ish. It's been about 12 years. They're suggesting another raise. On average, it's been about a $2.30 increase per year per credit hour on average.
So you'd be following the trend of this, essentially, just making up for inflation.
Yeah, the other questions surrounding like equity for first years and like distribution across departments kind of arose because of the consultant process over the timeline of like proposal, bringing it to students, talking to the student advisory council, all those sorts of things. And there's been like kind of I don't want to say commitments necessarily, but plans to address those kinds of inequities. For example, like with the iPads in first year and the removal of the iPad program, it's been said that like, you know, the first year program would adjust or readjust a little bit to not rely on the iPads in ways that it had when the iPad program existed. Because as Elise mentioned, like they're not strictly necessary, right? It's like digital, note taking. There was a couple like first year studios that would say like do like sketching diagrams a little bit, but the intent for first year has always been to keep it very paper pencil and then to go to the desktop computers 2 through 5. So the process has prompted discussion that I think domino into, I think.
Building off of that, the iPad program was first brought into was first created during COVID in order to ensure that everyone who was a student had equitable access to technology to do classes online. That was when the program was first created. And since it's been used where every first year student got an iPad that they got to keep throughout the entirety of the 5 years schooling process. And after graduation, so even if they were to drop out, I believe they still got to keep their iPad.
And if you drop out of the program, you don't. You have to return
never
it. So you spend the money and then you don't get it. Which for all of those students who do leave the program, because a lot of people change majors, not a big deal. But that is something that like those students are paying for something that at the end of the day. So there is that as well. If you graduate in the program, then you do keep your iPad. Now, on the other hand, the MacBook just released their like Neo or whatever. It's like $600. It's honestly cheaper than what the iPad is. If you're saving that $14 or whatever per credit hour. I know obviously not everybody has the money to spend $600 up front, but it's probably cheaper than in some cases, or buying something. So there are those options as well. it's not everybody's favorite option, but it is an option. So it may actually be cheaper in your long. It just depends on what you choose to do as a student.
I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody else have further questions about?
How about you mentioned about library, that hey, library has some computers and applications that you can like software and so on.
I think it's free. I'm pretty sure it's just a free checkout thing.
You can check out with the use of the K-State ID, a laptop for up to 3 days, and it has to be returned. So you can, and that's true for any equipment from the tech desk and the innovation lab at K-State libraries. I believe they have a lot of recording equipment. They have like stuff where you can like have projectors and things like that. I know that they have laptops. I don't believe they have chargers for them though. I used to use the tech desk myself, so they don't have like accessories to laptops, but you can check out and use a laptop for it.
Another suggestion could be like I don't know, maybe trying to have students go use that program more, or honestly, like I bought like a $200 Chromebook. I use that. Again, it's much cheaper than the iPad would be. It's also a Chromebook that I only used for a year, but it worked. I wrote papers on it. That's pretty much it.
How many laptops does Hale have that can be checked out at once? Because I'm just like, if all the students are trying to check them out.
I think the large majority of the students entering this program do already have a Chromebook or an iPad. That's the thing that I've kind of.
I'm a first year, and if you go to like our history class, almost nobody is taking notes on an iPad. It's like a laptop that they already bought. Some people even buy their ThinkPads early, but
It's just
Like, actually, because I came in freshman, I didn't have anything, so I was reliant on the iPad program to get through.
there are people like that.
Yeah.
it does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't.
I was also in that position, same as Josh. So just to kind of recap, the college fee does not only cover the iPad program, it also pays for technology throughout the building. It pays for salaries of tech people and student workers in the like lab. It also pays for building security technology, any like classroom technology. So there's more there's more to the fee than just the iPad program that's being taken away. There are computers available in the building for students to use.
And I think a lot of that increase is going to upgrading a lot of those things.
Most of building renovation cost coverage also gets covered by the fee. So there's a lot of stuff being covered by the college fee besides just technology. There's like building and salary related things being covered as well. And the key equitable access concerns that were raised were for incoming students who we couldn't guarantee would have equal access to the same technology by their technology in advance. And for the other one was concerns about students that didn't have studio required for their program. So RCP and RECP students who would be paying for college fees that go to components of the college technology or the college building that they are not gaining anything from. Those were the two groups that we'll discuss from that.
Next to us. There's a small percentage. The idea to sunset this program out of the taken before the Dean Student Advisory Council was voted on by the entire student body. It's a very controversial program. So the decision was, since it wasn't fair to everyone, and no other college that I know of offers technology when you come in, it was offered as a stopgap during COVID. And according to all the studies we did, that stopgap is over. I can say COVID, we're still, we still have the effects of it, but it was a temporary. And so this is just calling the end to that. And the fees are used for everything mentioned, including the professional development programs, which I think are also very important.
And are those new programs?
What's that?
Are those new professional development or are they just continuing the existing?
Continuing, yeah, the basis of the increase is based on plan.
I got you. It's just largely inflational because it's
That's
been
right.
12 years and you're choosing to get rid of the program. And I guess you said it wasn't a large part anyway. It wasn't a large part of the overall budget anyway.
It is,
It was.
it's a 20%. Yeah, so we asked for 75. According to inflation, we think we need to go up to 75. We put it before the students. And they decided they would rather pay less in fees and not have the iPad.
Okay.
That was the vote that we took.
I mean, the students don't want the iPad program. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I move to approve the fee increase unanimously.
Second.
Mason, do you want to offer any context as to the agriculture proposal?
Yeah, I can. Kind of how this all came about. I touched on inflation, since also touches on because College of Ag does not have the, I forget, you have your faculty advisor and your faculty mentor, one of the two, somebody might correct me, but pretty much College of Ag does not have
Professional advisors.
Professional, thank you, professional advisors, and to hire them, they're trying to do it through increasing the fee. And on top of that, they're also trying to, while we are increasing the fee, bring it up and up to where they can improve insufrastructure, inside of Burger Hall, and all the renovations, whoever, because a lot of the College of Ag buildings are a little outdated. So, we're already going to increase it. We don't want to come back here in 2 years and say, well, we increased it once, we want to redo some inside some buildings, we're going to increase it again. We want to knock it out now. It did at first, it was going to be set to $100. I believe that our credit hour fee was 25 or so, cheapest across all colleges on K-State. And I will say, even though our fee, so it started at $100 proposed, that got voted down. Final consideration is $85 now. That still is a lot cheaper than Oklahoma State, Nebraska, some of these other College of Ags in our area. Just something to think about there. But set at 85 right now, kind of just to make focus on why we're increasing it. Like I said before, getting those professional advisors. We have to do it. Something has to pass, because if not, then they're going to have to start budgeting, do some budget cuts in some other parts of the College of Ag. And we have a lot of good going on right now in the college, and it would really hurt to kind of see some budgets having to be cut, some programs having to be removed, because we can't get this passed through.
So $85 is a new one.
85 would be a new one.
And what was the old one?
I want to say 25. I was kind of.
I have the.
Yeah, I don't.
So they're raised my eyebrow saying that we're like, what, tripling it?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's been the biggest guess caused a lot of turmoil past few months.
It was at $22.90 was the college fee.
And we're going to eight, okay.
And
I'm
that's
gonna
not,
need to hear some major points that they're doing here. So the professional advisors, improvements to facilities, what else is provided in these fees? There's gonna be
I'd have to look at it.
TAs.
There's here, Max, if you want to reference the breakdown.
I've talked about so many of them. It's like, it's great for
GTA.
What is this one mean? What specifically are they? Mason, do you know what specifically they're doing for the transportation technology and equipment?
Why I will clarify, we're just ensuring that the process was followed correctly, not necessarily reviewing the merits of the proposal itself. That was the responsibility of the.
That's a case I need to approve unanimously.
Thanks. Guys.
I'm curious.
No, I
No one's done that meeting, almost quadruple increase.
Holy cow.